saved your clients collectively over $12 million. 12
Cash
million.
money
Cash
in
money.
their pocket,
In their pocket.
and as opposed to going into the attorney's pockets.
This is Expeditiously. I am Tip T.I. Harris.
It's a blessing to be here today. Our guest today, we'll be sitting down with an innovator named Vincent Dimmock, founder and managing partner of My25 Lawyer. Now, he's built a reputation as an innovator in the legal field and a disruptor, changing the way personal injury law serves clients. Now, we're going to discuss his journey, because it's an interesting one and inspiring as well. We're going to discuss his firm's unique approach and why he chose to align with me in this campaign. Vincent, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, Tip.
Hey, man, I appreciate having you.
Absolutely.
It's always a blessing to see fellow Bankhead natives doing well in the community.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, man, would you please just kind of shed some light on what My25 Lawyer is and how long you've been servicing the city?
Sure. Well, I've been a practicing lawyer for over 20 years, but after COVID, I decided to do something very different that would disrupt the industry. And we created a brand new model which would focus on creating transparency and greater value for consumers. At the end of the day, we all are supposed to be helping consumers. And you know, for many years when I was doing personal injury, I worked for other people, and I didn't have that kind of authority to make my own decisions about how much you're going to charge someone, for example. You had to follow the firm or your boss's rules, and that was charge them what we thought was an incredibly high price. And so I always said if I could do it on my own one day, I would do something that would help consumers. And that's how My25 Lawyer came about. We started it 4 years ago, actually last month, and the whole model is really built on being transparent and creating greater value by lowering the price for consumers.
Okay.
That's how all this came about.
Okay, lowering the price for consumer, which seems like a positive thing. You know, it seems like something that there would be no resistance or no blowback from. Tell me why it has been received with such a negative connotation by your competitors.
So it's a great question, first of all. What's unfortunate is consumers love it. My colleagues hate it. And the reason for that is they have maintained this sort of system for over 40 years where they charge consumers, again, what we consider very high fees.
How did personal injury law end up in such a MFN type of an industry? And when I say MFN, for those who don't know, I mean most favored nation would mean what one do, everybody else do. How did that happen?
It's called a clique. It's called we stick together. How else do you explain a person graduates from law school and charges 33%, no experience whatsoever? A person who's been practicing law for 30 years charges the exact same fee. How do you explain that? You can't explain it. This system was set up by lawyers over 40 years ago.
Okay.
And it has just maintained itself over that period of time. And so every new person who comes into the industry just sort of tags on and does the same thing that everybody else is doing. That's why it's been going on for so long. I always tell people, if corporate America could get into this game, these fees would probably be somewhere around 18, 19%. But now they're 33 to 45%.
Okay.
And that's 33 to 45% of your whole check, Tip. So let's just say I get you a $100,000 policy limit check.
Okay.
The lawyer's gonna make minimum $33,000. The biggest firms now in the city, they're gonna take 40 off the top. Doesn't that kind of remind you like Vegas, where they get a guaranteed cut off the top?
Yeah.
Where's the risk? They're taking no risk.
I think my, I guess the questions that I have come from how can all cases be treated the same? Because some cases go to trial, others are settled out of court. You know what I mean? Some require merely phone calls and never even cause for the lawyer to walk into a courtroom. So how could you charge someone the same exact percentage if you only made calls and pushed paperwork than you would if you stepped into a courtroom and actually had to go to trial? How could both of these cases end up in the same percentage?
You sound like you have a law degree. Because it makes no sense. You're absolutely right. How can you just charge one fee across the board for everyone? Here's some information for you. Lawyers work by the hour. That's how most of us make our living. Like,
Sure.
we track our time. Our time is everything, right?
Right.
The average case in our office, we did a survey. The average case in our office for a $100,000 policy limit, $100,000, took us 5 to 6 hours
5 to 6 hours.
total time. From the time you call our office to the time we get that check in, 5 to 6 hours.
On
Total.
average.
On average.
Okay.
Some cases take longer.
And some are
and
resolved quicker.
some are resolved quicker.
Okay.
Some may take 2 hours, 3
Right.
hours, right? Now, your medical treatment may last for a year, 9 months. So that 5 hours is just what we do to resolve your case.
Mm-hmm.
But on average, in our office, 5 to 6 hours.
And is this pretty standard across the board for could it be assumed that other law firms would have a similar average?
Yes. The answer is
Okay, and that's coming from your expert opinion.
I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've worked with other firms. I know how this process works.
Okay.
When we were in law school, all you heard kids say was, I want to save the world. I want to help elderly people. I want to help kids. I want to do the right thing for our society.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment the loans from school start
Yeah,
kicking
them student
in,
loans kick
the
in,
student
like,
loans start kicking
fuck
in.
the world, I need
More-
to save
fuck-
myself.
That's exactly right. That's exact. You seem to have a change of tune about what's important to you and why you did this in the first place.
Right.
And you just fall in line.
Right.
You see everybody else is charging 33 to 45%. So I'm going to charge 33. Old lady, elderly lady, case only took 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
40%.
Mm.
Go to trial, 40%. Sometimes insurance companies send us checks for children.
Mm.
They don't want beef with children, kids.
Right.
So sometimes, most times, they're just going to give you $1,000, $2,000 for your child just because they were in the
And you
vehicle.
they still take 40%.
They do. We don't. So we don't charge children. Like minors under 18 years old, up to almost $3,000, we don't charge you at all. You just keep that money and we keep it in your pocket. It's
Wow.
that simple.
Man,
Everybody else charges children 35 to 40%.
when I listen to you say it that way, it sounds, it sounds just a little disingenuous, you know what I mean, to solicit to underserved communities and to profit and benefit off of the pain and the trauma that comes from whatever accident. Although there is a service being rendered, if the average time is less than a day's work,
That is
and
accurate.
the average payout is more than most of these people make in a year
That is correct.
that are their clients.
That is correct.
And then to bring in, the children aspect or the child aspect, it just seems egregious. Now that's only because I've only heard you talk.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Now I'm sure that if I open up the floor for others to come and speak their piece, they probably have something. Like I've heard that the lesser the percentage, the lesser in quality of service. Like I heard that you get what you pay for. They charge 25%, but you only get 25% worth of service. Now, how could one hear something like that and decipher whether or not this is accurate or I should trust the person who's telling me he's doing it for the love?
Before you even get to that point, you have to start in a place of fairness. We never started with fairness in our industry. It never should have been 33 to 45% in the first place. So once that becomes a standard and is baked into our minds, and then we call around just like we do Walmart, Target, whatever, Amazon, we try and price shop, right? Everybody is charging the same thing. So in your mind, you're thinking, well, this must be the standard.
Right.
This is what it takes to get good service.
Right.
It is not. Technology has not been implemented into this industry. Innovation has not been implemented. We use AI. AI, for example, helps us get large settlements by essentially doing what humans can't do. So in most firms, you have one lawyer, or maybe even two lawyers, making a determination about how much they think your case is worth. We use not only a lawyer or two, but we use AI to help us look all over the state of Georgia, look at verdicts, look at settlements that might be part of the public records to see how much your broken arm is worth. So instead of us just depending on a person, a human, for example, AI is out scouring public records, settlements, jury verdicts to determine, has someone else gotten more than what this insurance company is offering you right now?
Right.
Look down in South Georgia. There's a case down there where someone just got double this amount.
Right.
That actually happened to us.
And AI don't get a percentage.
No, AI don't no.
Okay.
AI don't
so
get a
that's
percentage.
so
Yeah.
the discount and the benefit of that should roll back
That is correct.
into the
That
pockets
is
of the
correct.
client.
You got it. It's really that simple. And so it never should have been that high in the first place, Tip. It's the reason, for example, years ago, eggs used to cost a certain amount. And then a company like Walmart comes in and says, you know what, we can give you those same eggs for this amount. Urgent care, surgeries used to cost a certain amount. Then urgent care comes along, we're gonna mass produce. You don't have to go to emergency room every single time.
Right.
For these certain type injuries now, we can do it even less expensive than we're used to. So does that mean the hospitals were charging you too much? Not necessarily. We just found a way to innovate and scale so that we could charge people less. That's all it is.
Okay.
You get your money's worth with our firm, for sure.
I had an accident. It got bad, and I'm out of work, going in more debt. 25% is definitely better than everybody else. I didn't have to guess. I didn't have to wonder. The settlement is life-changing. It's security. It means a lot to me. My 25% lawyer, my culture, my community.
Well, I think if you're gonna play above board and not pull wool over people's eyes and come in with your palms up, telling the truth, being honest and earnest about your service, that's worth whatever, that's worth its weight in gold, because most people ain't gonna tell you what you don't know.
That is correct, especially when it benefits their pocket. So part of the reason that, we've pulled a Band-Aid off of a wound in this industry is because attorneys aren't very transparent. The fact that you
What? No.
the fact that you have to physically call someone to ask them how much do you charge in 2025 is ridiculous, frankly. You should be able to look on their website. You should hear it on their commercials.
Right.
We are the only ones who tell you how much we charge. Why is no one else telling you how much they charge?
But the industry standard is 33% to 45%.
Starting at
Starting at
33,
33.
then they raise it to 40. The largest firms now start at 40% off the top. So 40% off the top, no matter what happens, no matter how fast the case goes, they're guaranteed 40%.
Right.
And then if they have to file a lawsuit, it goes up to 45%.
So you saw this happening in the industry. You disagreed with it and decided that you would undercut the entire industry by offering your clients the same level of service for not 30%, not 33%, not 29%, but 25% of whatever you were able to win or negotiate for your clients.
That is correct.
And what inspired you to step outside of the circle of friendship or the circle of camaraderie within your industry and side completely with the community and the clients that you work for?
You know, I was that kid in law school who believed what everybody else was saying, but I didn't change for money. I had loans just like everybody else. My heart has always been with the people. I grew up in Bankhead. I grew up in Decatur, Georgia. I've always been about helping people, especially children and especially elderly people. So for me, this whole journey, my life's journey, my professional journey, has been about how can I impact? I'm a disruptor. I don't know how to do anything small. All I know how to do is break glass, break doors. That's what I feel I do best. But I want to do it in a way that is positive, that is inspirational, and that motivates and helps people.
Understood.
And so it's rare that you get an opportunity to positively impact people's lives on a grand scale.
Okay.
I am still in amazement by what we're doing. We returned $12 million cash money to Atlanta last year.
You say, when you say return, you mean gave it back to
through lower fees.
Okay, got it.
If they would have gone with another lawyer,
Oh, you saved your clients collectively over $12 million. 12
cash
million.
money
Cash
in their pocket,
in their pocket.
and they, as opposed to going into the attorney's pockets. So if they had gone to other firms,
Yeah.
that $12 million
Yeah.
would be buying homes and
Right.
cars for the attorneys,
Vacations.
right? Vacations,
Yeah.
right?
Rolexes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But now
Van
it's
Cleefs.
Van Cleefs. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Ties, pocket squares.
You got it.
Louboutins.
There
yeah.
you go.
I know the list.
There you go.
The bankhead in me is very interested because just like you can celebrate delivering $12 million to the pockets and the homes and the dinner tables of your clients in the community, you also bragging about taking $12 million away from a very, very, I guess, how could I say, a very potentially treacherous group of people. Were there no, or are there no trepidations about this bold move that you're making?
I don't work for lawyers. I work for the people. And that's why I keep going back to when I was in law school. I never veered from my commitment to helping people.
Right.
It's just that I've now gotten to this point in my life where I'm thinking about my life and my legacy and what does it mean? What can I do to help people?
Right.
Sure, we can all do something on a very small level every day, right? But I decided to use my license to do something to break the glass, basically.
Understood.
And I believe that we're just getting started. $12 million is a lot of money
It is.
to return to one community in 1 year.
Right.
We're only 4 years old. And so for us to be able to do that, and by the way, next year, we plan to double that amount to $25 million.
What?
Returned to the community. So when you ask that question, for me, I'm not bragging about what I've taken from someone.
Right.
They didn't deserve it in the first place. What I feel proud about is when I see these elderly church ladies come in my office and say, I just got off the bus and the train and the MARTA handicap van just to come over here to shake your hand. You know, in the black church, that means a lot.
Right.
We know the church lady with the hat on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
They come to our office just to say, I want to meet you. I wanted to meet you. and I want to pray for you.
Man.
I hear what these lawyers are saying about you. I see what they're trying to do, but I want you to know God is with you. And I say, ma'am, we would have brought the check to you. No, I want to come to your office. They come in wheelchairs. They come on crutches. They just want to say thank you.
These are the people that are being overcharged for
That is
services
correct.
that they shouldn't have to pay as much for.
That is correct. That is correct.
So it's not the people throwing money up in Magic City.
It is not
It's
them.
not,
No.
it's not the
No.
one hopping in and out of Rolls Royces and Buckhead.
No, it's not them.
It's the people that's, struggling to keep all their bills under wraps.
That is correct.
From month to month.
It's hard out here right now.
Yeah,
Tip.
for
It's hard
everybody.
for everybody.
Yeah.
We see it because we represent thousands of people in Metro Atlanta. Thousands, not hundreds. We represent thousands of people. So we hear every day from our lawyers, from our paralegals, case managers, what people are going through. It's tough out here right now.
Right.
These people need every dollar that they're entitled to.
Right.
Who am I to say just because I am on the phone negotiating your case, which may have taken 5 hours, who am I to say I want half your check? By the way, I tell people, don't depend on that 33% because you don't know if they're going to have to file a lawsuit. You don't know how much the additional fees are going to be. Many of these people are giving up half of their check just to the attorney alone. Then you got to pay Piedmont Hospital. Then you got to pay a doctor or a chiropractor. You may walk away with just a small percentage. I'll give you one example. Felt bad for this gentleman, but he got a $100,000 settlement. He tried to fire the lawyer. He came to us. Got $100,000. The lawyer took $50,000. The doctor took $46,000. The gentleman who was still incapacitated walked away with $4,000.
And they could do that.
Legally, they can do it.
Wow.
So we hear these stories. I've been doing this long enough to know this is a consistent story.
Now, you spoke a little bit about the old lady wanting to pray for you because she heard what these other attorney or these other firms were saying about you, or I guess whatever propaganda exists. And I was shown a video where there was a gentleman who very eloquently spoke and said, y'all personal injury firms out here beefing like Gucci and Jeezy was back in the early 2000s, man.
Right.
So tell me, exactly how did it get to such a point, you know what I mean, where y'all reaching out to people like me now? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did we get, how did y'all come so close to what we have, tried so hard to evolve beyond, which is beefs within our industry?
It's unfortunate, but I try and tell people in business, because I'm an entrepreneur before I'm anything else. I'm a businessman and I'm a disruptor. Don't ever get comfortable. Don't ever get comfortable. Attorneys have gotten comfortable. They've gotten comfortable with these high fees. They've gotten comfortable with these high lifestyles, these huge fancy offices. Who do you think is paying for all that?
Right.
One of the first things that my partner attorney, boss, told me when I first started was, we pay for nothing. Clients pay for everything. The pencil.
He said that out of his mouth.
He did. He sure did. He said, clients.
He looked at you and said this.
That is correct. Because he was like giving me
thought he
game
had
on
to-
how the
He
industry
thought he
worked.
was cooking.
He
thought
did. He did. And he was proud. The sad part is he was proud of it.
Right.
Like, how can you say that with a straight face?
Man.
Like, this fancy office you're saying is being paid for by elderly people on
Right.
fixed incomes? Like, come on, man. That's just not fair. And in the age of technology, man, even the insurance companies are largely working remotely.
Right.
They haven't even brought most of their employees back.
Right.
They're cutting costs.
Uh-huh.
So the point is, absolutely this can be done for a lower price. There is no cutting of service, no lower service. In fact, we spend a lot of money on customer service. So for us, we're a customer service firm first.
My experience with my 25% lawyer was phenomenal. Both of my cases have been settled. I was able to put money up for a house, pay all my bills off, and it's not something that I have to worry about for a very long time. My 25% lawyer, my culture, my community.
But it's all about the customer, and it's all about, if you really care about these people, show them. And the best way to show people you care about them, give them their money. Give them what they deserve.
Right on. Now, it concerns me because you is the only one in this beef standing against a whole, like it's a gladiator 300 worth of others that oppose you and your methods and your ideologies, your practices. But who are your allies? Like who support and stand with you? Like you just a lone gunslinger walking into town, blowing tumbleweeds.
Basically.
Man, you need some spurs and some revolvers, man. Where's your protection and defense?
It's called God. I feel like David. I feel like all I had was a rock and a cloth, fighting against the biggest law firms. I can't compete with them with the amount of money they have. These are very wealthy people. They have a lot of political power. They have unlimited funds. But I have a rock, and I have God's blessing for what I'm doing. And I know that what I'm doing is right for the people that we're trying to help in our community. So for me, I'm willing to take the hits. I'm willing to take the bullets.
Man, figuratively.
Figuratively.
I mean, you speak with such conviction, man, and I mean, you can hear the genuine passion that you have for helping the community and for, I guess, righting the wrongs that have been done to the community and its members for so long. And that's dope. I think, okay, so one thing I think we should do is, because personal injury is a broad term. Most people think of car accidents, but what other types of cases would you consider, a reason for people to call your firm?
Sure, so we largely only focus on car accidents, truck accidents, dog bites. If you fall down in a Walmart, that's called premise liability. We handle those type cases as well. But primarily...
What about workers' comp?
We don't do workers' comp.
Okay.
Yep. Just primarily personal injury cases that are affiliated with cars, motorcycles, dog bites, and premise liability where you slip and fall or things like that in a workplace.
Okay. What makes a case a good fit for your firm? Like, how do you decide what cases to take and which ones to let somebody else handle?
So we have very experienced attorneys, and we sit around a table and we go through every single case and determine the facts of that case. We have people who used to work at insurance companies. We have people who are part of our team who only do plaintiff's work, which is we sue insurance companies. And we all make a decision together about whether we think this is a viable case or not.
Okay.
And what we think the insurance company's response is going to be. If we think the insurance company will pay off on this case, or if we have to file a lawsuit to force them to pay off, and it's still 25%, even if we have to file a lawsuit, then we take the case.
Okay. I'm sure you tried a lot of cases. Why don't you tell me a few meaningful ones that have made an impact on you and how you practice law, and that you think made an impact on the community?
So I think my biggest case wasn't necessarily personal injury. My former partner, Charles Mathis, who is now deceased.
Yeah, I know. I know
Charles was my law partner.
That's my guy.
Yep, correct. So
God
Charles
bless
taught
him.
me, God bless him. Charles taught me everything I knew. But we had the prescription drug cases for Georgia. They were nationwide. It was a class action lawsuit. And it was also the hardest case that I've ever been involved in and had to work on. So Charles brought me into that case. I was co-counsel with him on that case. But when I saw what those drugs did to people over time and what the pharmaceutical company tried to do, I felt like we did the right thing by settling with the pharmaceutical company because it helped thousands of people who were impacted by those drugs in a negative way.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, because, I'm I am, you know, somewhat fascinated by the world of law.
Okay.
You know, I've tried cases too, just not from that side of the bench. I was on the other side. But I'm fascinated, like, you know, in law, and, you know, the practice of law is, you know, just an incredible talent. You know what I mean? What was the nature? The injury came from the people who took these drugs and had negative responses to them.
Side effects.
Okay.
Yeah, all kinds of heart problems, valves, you know, problems with their normal daily body functions over time.
Right.
The pharmaceutical company showed that they had some knowledge, we later found out, of what the drugs were doing to people, but they did nothing about it.
Right.
And so
So it's negligence in a sense.
that is correct. Yep,
Okay.
that is correct. You sure you don't have a law degree?
Nah, man. You know, I got you know,
That's exactly right.
I got a little, you know, a little paralegal experience. You know?
But yeah, it impacted those people by the thousands around the country who were taking those drugs.
And this would not be considered something that's like personal injury.
That's a different type of law altogether.
Okay.
But we handle primarily just accidents.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Someone said to me that the courts don't care what's fair, man. They only care what's legal. Does that resonate with you?
I think it's a hybrid of both. Most judges do care about fairness, and if they see something that they consider unfair, most judges are going to try and make it right. That's what I've experienced throughout my years.
Man, I mean, I've for the in large majority, most of the judges that I sat in front of, in my experience, really were kind of like people who wanted fairness to reign.
Yes.
You know, and
I agree with that.
And wanted to keep it even, you know, regardless of who benefit from the decision,
correct.
as long as the decision was a fair and just one.
That is correct.
There's most. Now I've seen it swing the other way as well.
Right.
But
So have I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think to want to be a judge, you know, you have to have a love for the notion of fairness.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Now you were born in Savannah, right?
That's right.
Okay. But you were raised in Bankhead and Decatur.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell me, how did your upbringing influence the kind of lawyer that you said you would be?
So I would say that it started with my parents. My parents were both ministers. My father was what I call a jackleg preacher.
Okay.
He was all about the money.
Okay.
And to me, just growing up, my father's passed, but I love my father dearly. I just didn't respect the way that he handled being a minister.
Man, I respect you for saying that.
My mother, who is also a minister, was the complete opposite.
Okay.
She cared about people.
Got it.
She would sit by your bedside all night till the next morning, knowing we're at home. You know, we need whatever, but mom cared about people. Mom cared about helping people. And I think that's where I got my motivation really in life for just wanting to help people. Wasn't from my father. I loved him dearly, but he had a church over near Bankhead, and he just was too focused on money and hustling to me. My dad was a hustler, basically.
Hey man, hey man, this is Atlanta.
It is Atlanta.
And it always has been Atlanta.
Yeah, that's right.
It
That's
didn't just
right.
become Atlanta.
That's right.
It's business.
That's right. So my inspiration really came from them. And I think once I got back to Atlanta, once I grew up here, I just wanted to get out of really bad situations. During that time, Bankhead was just rough, man.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
at night, you know, my parents wouldn't let us go out after dark.
What year was this?
This was, we lived in Bankhead in the early 70s to
Okay.
mid 70s.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you talking like right around Wayne Williams.
Oh,
time.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay, got it.
So, and that's why my mom shipped me away, because they didn't want me getting
Well, shoot.
Kidnapped.
I mean, why
basically.
would we? Yeah,
Or
I
dead,
get it. I
right?
get it. Now, before pursuing law, you earned your degree in accounting and finance at Georgia State.
That's correct.
Share with us, like, what led you to pursue law and make the decision to become a lawyer?
You know, as I sit and listen to the questions you're asking, it also makes me think, why would you do something? I'm not
so
used
smart.
to hearing.
You seem so intelligent.
Right. As I listen to you, I'm just thinking to myself, wow, you've made some unusual decisions and moves in your life. To me, it just underlies what I said earlier. I'm not a follower. I don't believe in following normal paths. Now, I'm not crazy. I don't take crazy risks, but I'm looking to see, well, if everybody's going in this direction, maybe I should go in a different direction.
Right.
And so for me, I wanted to be in business. So I went into accounting and finance. I wanted to understand how business worked.
Right.
And then I was influenced by a man whose name was Vernon Jordan when I went to work for his mom while I was at Georgia State.
Okay.
And Vernon pulled me under his wing. I used to take care of his elderly mother. And, you know, he paid for my law school. And he showed me what life could be like as a lawyer. He showed me the value, not just being a lawyer, but the value and the impact you can have on people's lives with that knowledge and education. And that's why I did it. So for me, even though I'm a practicing lawyer, I'm really a businessman who's a lawyer, right? Business comes first for me. And it's one thing I've always respected about you.
Well,
Yeah, you're an artist at the top of the game, but as we watch all your moves, you're like not just the king of art, but you're the king of business, because you're helping show young people focus on your money, focus on your priorities, focus on your business. And for me, that's what I focus on. So whether it's law, whether it's another business, you got to understand the business of business.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that I take away from just watching you over the years. You're always about your business.
Man, you know.
And that's impressive to
I
me.
get a little BS in there every now and then, man. You know, but speaking of business, so what brought us together, I actually sat down with you about a consideration for an entirely different venture, an entirely different area of business, and that's when I began to learn of, you know, your plight in introducing more fairer fees
Yes.
to your clients. And to be honest with you, I'm a storyteller. I'm moved by narrative. I'm moved by stories. And just what the comparison you just made, saying that you felt like David, you know, going up against Goliath, I could kind of sense that. And that is kind of what drew me to want to learn more about you.
Interesting.
You know?
Okay.
And in that pursuit of knowledge and information, you shared with me more than I even expected to learn. And that's when I said, man, the people need to hear this.
I appreciate
You know
that.
what I mean?
I appreciate that.
I just really think for me to learn it and hold the information to myself and just tell people one at a time when I meet them in passing, I don't think that's not gonna fill the gap enough. So that's why I, you know, wanted to open the doors and invite you to sit here and share your journey, your narrative, your story from your perspective without interruption, because there are a lot of people who may have a choice to make and are confused.
Yes.
You know, and they may not be able to make a decision just by listening to a 30-second commercial.
That is correct.
You know,
Yep,
they may
that is
need a
correct.
little more elaboration on certain subjects. They may need to know more. So if someone hears this, has more questions they'd like to ask, or either want to dive deeper into a question, where can they contact you where they can continue this discussion after they watch this?
Sure. You can go directly to our website, which is my25lawyer.com, the number 25lawyer.com, or you can call us. We're open 24 hours a day. Someone will answer the phone, 404-857-2000.
And now let's talk about this. Let's just get into a little entertainment talk, because all of you personal injury firms, all of y'all have very creative ways to market yourselves online and on the radio and in your billboards. It's like a it's like a commercial war. How do y'all come up with, just the means in which you'll present yourselves to the public? Like, do you go hire someone to curate your commercial? Do you wake up out your sleep with ideas? Is it your personal taste? Or what is it that leads you guys, to your methods of marketing?
Well, I think I can answer that question pretty simply. Their marketing has been the same for over 30 years. It's somebody's face and a phone number, and it says, call us.
Well, I mean, but I've been hearing, I've heard songs that I thought I was expecting to hear Lil Baby come out.
Right.
And
right.
do a verse on now. So, how did it get from just the face and the phone number to now, people booking studio time really and paying producers to really kind of, they ain't doing jingles. These is songs you could play in the club.
Yeah, so now you're talking about the audio side. On the audio side, they are now being forced to up their game. My 25 Lawyer has changed the whole game of marketing. We are one of the most progressive new companies doing marketing in the whole region. And so they realize they've got to up their game. So they're trying to come up with all kinds of things, but they're distractions. You can hire all these famous artists all you want to, but at the end of the day, people now are aware, because we're educating people on what's really most important, and that is, how much money are they charging you? That's what you really need to know. So all that other stuff is distractions. Who's coming up with it? They hire marketing companies. Some of these guys just do it themselves. They just want to see if they can outdo. Like, we are really just being innovative, guerrilla type marketing. And that's what's made us one of the fastest growing law firms in Georgia history in only 4 years. We don't have a marketing agency.
Okay.
Basically, I have done all the marketing myself.
Okay.
And it's clearly working. Now, we're not going to stay in that mode. We're going to bring on more professionals as we grow. But they're all just essentially doing it themselves, or even if they have a marketing agency, now they're having to sort of revamp their whole marketing program, because My25 is the new biggest threat in the whole personal injury game. People are calling from all over the country because they see it online and they're trying to see if they can get it in their state. That's what tells me we're onto something here, and it's the right thing for the people.
Now, you know what? You just said something. You said My25 is the biggest threat. That's a fair presentation. However, I think it's time. I want to give you a chance to pop your peep, man, because you know what I'm saying. The other firms, they want to treat you like a little dog. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
They try to undermine your efforts with saying, well, they only charge that because the level of service is substandard, and they're not as senior and they're not as capable. All right, well, let's just talk about scope. I'm gonna give you a little opportunity to talk about scope. Let's talk about the size or the magnitude of the firm that you founded. Tell them, how many billboards do you have, and how much do you spend on marketing, and how competitive are you against your naysayers?
We are 4 years old. Just over 1 out of every 4 of our settlements are full policy limits. That's the most you can get under Georgia law. We have nearly 50 employees. We spend over $1 million a month on marketing. We're only 4 years old. We're closing on a $10 million debt service.
Mm-hmm. Which means you raising funds.
We're raising funds.
Okay.
We're close to the $10 million
Mm-hmm.
based on a $100 million valuation
Got it.
for a company that's only 4 years old.
Mm.
It's never been done before.
Right.
And so, to me, what that means is the people have already validated us.
Right.
And it's incumbent upon us to continue this movement. This is more than just a business. This is a movement. This is Atlanta, Georgia, home of civil rights, home of Dr. Martin Luther King. People paid a dear price for us to get these law degrees. The question is, what are you doing with them?
Right.
Are you charging elderly people who you know can't afford it when you know these cases only take you a matter of hours, so let's just say less than a day? And you know these people are on fixed income?
Right.
You know these children had nothing to do with these accidents? You see these young men who are already struggling in the streets, trying to do things the right way, and then they look at that final check and go, what? Y'all taking how much?
Mm.
And so I think that God is just blessing us, and we're realizing this unbelievable growth that is just poised to take the nation by storm, in my opinion. So we're raising this 10 million right now, which we're close to the full amount, and we're going to start expansion. We're going to Houston, we're going to Detroit,
Okay.
and we're going to Florida. And so for us, My25 is going to be the new game changer for this industry.
Anybody with a bulletproof vehicle, please contact My25. You got a good deal. If you can give him 25% off of a bulletproof vehicle, he is going to need it riding into these new towns. This is not the only time you've had high levels of altruism and an intention to serve. Like, it just seems like service to the community, a service to the people is in your DNA. You were an original member of President Obama's National Finance Committee in 07 and 08. What lessons did you take from that experience about leadership and influence?
You know, just being in his presence, it was definitely the greatest experience of my life. I went to work with him. I was one of the first 25 people with him before anybody. At that time, so many celebrities told me, no, I'll pass. But they didn't see the future.
Right.
They didn't see the vision. He allowed us to travel with him. I didn't get paid. You had to spend your own money, right? So I took time off from law
Okay.
and went into my savings account. And I said, you know what? This might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Wow.
We went into some of the wealthiest people's homes in America. We went into some of the smartest people's homes. And that experience allowed me to be in the presence of people like you, people like whomever, and just listen. Just close your mouth and just listen. President Obama would be there talking to various guests. These were fundraisers. And for us, just to be in the presence of, I can't name the names, but
Right.
you know all these people. They're the wealthiest people on the planet,
imagine.
right?
I could imagine.
But just to get to listen to them talk about how they started in business, the trials and tribulations they went through, and the headaches, and how they overcame certain obstacles in their life, that stuff sticks with you if you want to absorb it. For me, I wanted to absorb it. And I think all of that has just become a culmination. All these things, from my mom caring about people, watching my dad do things to get money in a way that I did not agree with, being with President Obama, traveling around the country for almost 18 months, meeting all these hugely successful people and hearing their stories. I think all that is the precursor
Right.
for where I am today.
That makes sense.
It's all about service and helping people. And if I can make money and take care of myself and my family in the process
Right.
and help people, man, I am good.
I'm gonna just give you some more. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna let people know some other stuff that you've done. You've also served as an interim CEO of the on the Alonzo Mourning Foundation, focusing on programs for disadvantaged youth. How did that role impact your outlook on service beyond law?
Again, helping children. That's what we did. So the community was called Overtown in Miami.
In Miami, yeah.
That's correct. So let me just give you the backstory there. President Obama wanted me to go to Florida because at that time I was a lawyer doing a lot of entertainment law, so I knew a lot of celebrities. He had New York and California covered.
Okay.
So he wanted me to go to Miami and start building the groundwork for fundraising there.
Got it.
I joined that board. This was our first event. It was my event, my first fundraiser for President Obama.
Okay.
And Alonzo Mourning is the person I reach out to. And he says, initially says, no, I'm not going to do a fundraiser. Good. Go back to him again. Man, would you please reconsider? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Then he finally comes back a third time. And Alonzo says, you know what? I'll do your fundraiser for Barack Obama. But I want it to be at my youth center in Overtown.
Okay.
Overtown is used to be one of the worst neighborhoods in Miami.
Right.
Like, you did not want to just walk through there.
Not much different from Bankhead.
There you go. Exactly.
Right.
President Obama overrode our team because we said, no, let's not do it there. Let's
Too risky.
Too risky.
Yeah.
Rich people are not coming to the hood after dark, paying thousands of dollars for a ticket. I remember when President Obama said, we're going to do the event.
Wow.
Don't worry about it. We're going to Overtown. Do you know it was one of the biggest fundraisers we've ever had for him?
Wow.
We raised more money at that event that we did not even have to do another event. All the billionaires came, the Miami Heat players came to Overtown at night.
Wow.
So when you talk about service, President Obama was all about service. He was just a warm-hearted individual who truly cared about people. And I feel like I've been fortunate that I've had all these people around me to educate me and to influence me because their mission was always first and foremost, I care about people, I want to help people.
Right.
And so I think it's just rubbed off on me.
My accident was April 9th. I found my 25% lawyer. I'm blown away because, yes, he's charging less, but he really is doing more. If you fall on hard times, they got you. My 25% lawyer, my culture, my community.
You also dedicate time to pro bono work through the National Legal Aid Society. Like pro bono, that means free, right?
That means free.
Free
exactly
and lawyer,
right.
that's an oxymoron.
That's exactly right.
Why is that such an important part of your mission?
Again, somebody paid a dear price for us to get these degrees, right? It's hard to get this paper. People died for it. I think for me, my parents are probably my maternal heroes, but Dr. Martin Luther King is my worldly hero. And I respect the price that he paid with his life to put me in a position that I'm in today, here talking to you. If it were not for his work, or the people who did the same type of work, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
True.
I wouldn't have this piece of paper. So what am I gonna do when I get the piece of paper? Just go out and charge people 33 to 45% like everybody else is? Or am I gonna try and help people who I know are in desperate need of help and not be greedy? So for me, I think service is all I know, helping people is all I know.
Well, you've been, thank you for your service. You know what I'm saying?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So expeditiously, we do call it the word of the day.
Okay.
So I have thought of a word of the day, and just so I can, let's see here. Okay. On this episode of Expeditiously, the word of the day is nefarious. nefarious. I'm going to use it in a sentence. Beware, do not be fooled by other nefarious law firms. My25 offers the same service for only 25%. Now, I want to thank you so much, man,
Thank you, sir.
for offering your services to the community,
Thank you,
for offering yourself, your time. And it's truly been an honor hearing your story
Thank you.
and learning so much about an industry that most of us don't even think about until we actually need it.
That is correct.
You know, so
Yep.
thank you for putting us up on game.
welcome.
You know what I mean? And it's been an absolute pleasure having you here expeditiously,
Thank you.
Vincent.
Thank
Love
you.
and respect.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Right on.
Pleasure.
And this has been Expeditiously.
This is Expeditiously. I am Tip T.I. Harris.